Greetings. This is the view from my hotel, the DT Hilton, is it called? I could look. I probably will in a minute. But, in Los Angeles, California, or actually Culver City, I believe. It's not quite Los Angeles. They have some, like, tea here, so I think I might brew some tea, maybe order a Guinness, and probably take a bath, because I was on a 4-hour and 45-minute flight from North Carolina to LA, and prior to that I was on a 2-hour flight from Rhode Island to North Carolina. And then on the way back I'll be taking the red eye from here to Philadelphia, and then from Philadelphia to Providence. Well, it's not really Providence. The airport in Rhode Island is actually in Warwick, but they call it Providence because no one has heard of Warwick outside of Rhode Island, or at least the general New England area. I was afraid they were going to put me at like some sleep and fuck motel since they were paying for it, but it's actually not that bad of a hotel. I mean, it's not a great hotel. It's no Bellissimo Grand, but I have the zoom on from the window. But yeah, not too shabby. They gave me 2 like full beds for some reason. They didn't just to have a one room. I don't know. But yeah, fairly decent LG TV here. There's this. There's that. Cabinets. Free Wi-Fi for guests. Oh, a mini fridge. I was wondering what was making that noise. What do you know? There's some $5 water they're selling here. I'm not sure why, but there is, if consumed, a charge will be billed to your room for your convenience. Our staff will refresh daily. I don't know. Who's gonna spend $5 for that bottle of water? But yeah, I guess some people do. I was just looking here at the beverages. Might end up buying a $6 or $7 beer with an 18% gratuity and a $3 delivery fee. Or I could just go down to the bar, but I don't really feel like that. Not after that flight. So, yeah, I guess that's about it. Well, yeah, closet and bathroom. Not too opulent or whatever. The reviews I read, that's me, hi. The reviews I read online of this hotel when they booked it was that it was noisy because it was near the road, and they actually provide free earplugs, but it's not too noisy for me, at least not now. I don't know if it gets worse later. But, yeah, I'm only here a night, and then I go right from filming to the airport tomorrow. I'm kind of glad I got to see LA before I turned 30. You know, I have a degree in film studies, and I've always wanted to direct movies and stuff. Of course, I've only seen LA currently at night in around the airport and hotel region, which looks very dumpy and poor except for the palm trees. It's, yeah. So a couple moments of the night have reminded me of Ryan Gosling in Drive, the opening scene of Drive where he's driving through LA. But, yeah, it's, I mean, I'm not sure this is a representative sample of the LA skyline or anything, but yeah. I could never drive in the city. There's too many lanes and too many lane changing. But I don't know what I saw of LA, at least from the window of the back of the 4-door black Dodge Intrepid that the PA picked me up at from the airport at. Not too impressive. But I don't know. I was actually, if I ever got into the movie industry, I always wanted to live in Portland, Oregon, and then just fly down to LA for like meetings and stuff if I had to. Portland, the home of Chuck Palahniuk, my favorite author. Yeah. This game. The Doubletree by Hilton. Yes, Los Angeles West Side. So that's where I am. But I guess that's about it. I don't really have much else to talk about. I showed you the room. There does not appear to be a Bible in this hotel room. There's none there. There's none there. There's nothing on that side, right? Open this drawer. There's just this cable here. And then I looked in here. This is just the fridge. Just the mini fridge. Nothing in there. And I looked in this drawer. Nothing. This drawer. Nothing. This drawer. Nothing. And finally, this drawer. Nothing. Could it be I found a hotel in this country that doesn't have a Bible? I like this place already. I loved this high-pressure shower. I wish I had the shower head for my apartment. Oddly enough, the toilet's very low pressure and takes a few flushes to put something down, but the shower head was amazing. I loved this. This was a great shower. Yeah, look at this. Not too shabby. A little salt, a little pepper. These fries look pretty good. Dinner. And Rachel Maddow. By the way, the fries were very good. And at the Guinness was very cold. They had a bottle opener. I mean, they did a really good job with the room service. I don't think I actually tipped the guy enough for that. It said 18%, and the bill came to like 17 change, and I tipped him 3. I looked on my calendar, my calculator rather, and that seems to be about it. But, I don't know. But anyway, the last time I flew on a plane was almost 4 years ago now. It was in February of 2009. That was the trip where I got the tattoo on my chest. I went to Chattanooga, Tennessee to visit an internet friend at the time. Trip didn't go so well, but it's beside the point. Since then, there were some more security procedures and stuff added because of that underwear bomber guy. So now, not only do we have the traditional metal detectors, we have the full body scanners. So anyway, today, my girlfriend drops me off at the airport in Rhode Island, TF Green Airport, which they always say is Providence on any manifest, but it's actually in the city of Warwick. But because no one outside of Rhode Island has ever heard of Warwick, they just call it Providence on all the manifests, and it's close enough to Providence anyway. So, so I get in line for the screening. Apparently they don't just make you take out anything metal from your pockets, they make you empty all your pockets now, so put them all in the bins, take your shoes off because of the other Richard Reed shoe bomber guy. And, I originally get in line because they had the metal detector, over here, and then they had the full body scanner over here. It's the full body scanner. They have like little, yellow rectangles on the floor, and you put your feet on there. You're supposed to hold your hands over your head, and they scan you. But, so you could either go through the metal detector or the full body scanner. The metal detector had a longer line, so I was going to go through the full body scanner until the woman, TSA agent, said that I'd have to take off my belt for that, and I had specifically worn a belt that I don't like that's falling apart, but can actually get through security versus the belts I normally wear at my jeans that have those metal pyramids and stuff that can't. And I have a couple other belts, but I need to poke more holes in them because I'm too skinny for the belts. I actually saw something at Target that you could make holes with, but I never ended up getting it. I was sick last week for New Year's, and some of the residual effect is like post-nasal drip, so if I coughed during the video, that's why. But so once they said you have to go there, you have to go back through the, put it through the x-ray and whatever, but then instead of putting my belt on the conveyor with my carry-on, I just went through the regular metal detector and it was fine. So it's like, fuck you, full body scanner that probably gives people AIDS and then people can see my junk. So I did that, and I have a friend who works at the Johnny Rockets in the airport, but I didn't see her there. I didn't really actually go up and look and ask. I only saw 2 girls congregating around the register. Actually, didn't even look like they were open, but it was after, well, it was a little bit before, when did I get there? Well, actually, I got there in the morning. I got there at like 11 a.m., so maybe they weren't even open. But, yeah. And TF Green is actually a pretty small airport. I mean, it's Rhode Island. You have basically one concourse down this way and one concourse down that way. Actually, I think it's the same concourse. They just numbered the gates from like 1 to whatever, 12, 14. So I just waited at my gate and got on the plane and everything. So as I said, my first layover was in Charlotte, North Carolina. And there are different zones that they load in. Like first they load in first class, and they sort of like the premium people, whatever, people who get like freaking flyer miles. Then they have like Zone A, Zone B, Zone C. Actually, no, they're numbers rather. I'm sorry. Zone like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I don't get how they load people onto planes because it doesn't seem very efficient. Because if it were up to me, you'd load all of the window seat people first, Then you'd load the middle seat people, and then you'd load the aisle seat people. That way there's less like people having to get up and putting all their stuff in the overheads, whatever. And both flights I was on today were like completely booked. But I was in zone 5 for this flight, which was the last to load, and yet I had a middle seat, so you already have the person at the window sitting, you already have the aisle sitting, but there's a gap in the middle. And this plane was pretty crappy. Basically, I ended up sitting between two guys. One of them was kind of not like built or anything, but he spilled over into my seat, and then the other one was another adult male who was older and didn't spill as much. But still, the seats were very, very narrow and claustrophobic. And now again, I'm like the guy who's like 102 pounds and like super skinny, as you can see by my arm. So if it's narrow for me, not just it's narrow side to side, and also narrow between my seat and the seat in front of me. So it's like very narrow, squished in. So I'm squished in like reading my book. And so it was like very uncomfortable, but that flight itself was only like 2 hours, 10 minutes. So it wasn't too bad. They didn't serve any snacks on either plane. At least none that you didn't have to pay extra for, because I know usually they give you like the little bag of peanuts or the little bag of pretzels. Now, no, you just they'll give you a meal on the longer one, but you have to pay for it. Actually, on the shorter one, I think they were giving out Chex Mix, but they didn't ask me. Usually they just give you that package automatically, whether they ask for it or not, and then they ask you what you want to drink. At least on the planes I've been on before. I always make the same mistake. I've asked for water on planes, but then all they do is they just fill up a little plastic glass. Whereas if you ask for soda or something like that, they give you the can and the cup, so you actually get more to drink for free. So that's why on the plane to Charlotte, I ended up getting just a glass of water, and then I was like still thirsty. But then when I went from Charlotte to LA, I asked for club soda, which I actually didn't know they had club soda. Usually they only offer you like Pepsi or Sprite or something like that, or like orange juice or whatever. And then you can pay extra for like the alcohol, the little nips of like wine or whatever. But they had club soda and everything, so I got a little I got a can of club soda and a little plastic cup with ice so that I could fill up. And I filled up, I think, like 2.5 of those plastic cups, so instead of one, I got 2.5. So, and then later on in the Charlotte to LA flight, they actually came around and also offered a plastic cup of water later, like because I mean that was like a 5-hour flight almost, 4 hours and 40 minutes or so. Though it actually ended up landing like 20 minutes ahead of schedule, so maybe it was only like 4:10 or whatever. 4 hours and 20 minutes or 4 hours and 10 minutes instead of 4 hours and 40. But anyway, yeah, so that first flight to Charlotte, not so much. I had the middle seat and whatever. And then I get to the airport in Charlotte, which was actually pretty big. There's I think 4 or 5 different concourses. I forget if it went to Concourse D or Concourse E. I arrived in Concourse C and had to go to D. Actually, yeah, they went to E, so there's 5 different concourses. So it was big. But I was hungry when I got off the plane, and I still had an hour between when I landed and when the flight to LA was going to take off. I had that hour. And so I figured, hey, maybe they have McDonald's here. It's an airport, right? So I'll get some fries or whatever. But I get off, and at the end of the concourse, there's like a sort of a main section with like various stores. I mean, there's stores up and down both sides of the concourse anyway, bookstores and like little like newsstand type things. But I figured at the main part maybe they'd have, because I didn't have time to sit at a restaurant. I'm not going to sit at a restaurant alone or sit at a bar alone. And I figured, oh, maybe they had a McDonald's and get fries. And what's there? Fucking Burger King. And I'm coming to Tosh.0 because of a rant I filmed on Burger King. Go figure. So there's that. There was only that. So I ended up getting 2 bags of chips. They were like they're not the small little rinky-dink $1 ones or even more rinky-dinky 50-cent ones. They were each almost like, I think, $2.10 a piece. So I ended up paying with a 5. It was fine for the flight to LA. And the plane to LA was better. The seats were a little bit more comfortable. Definitely a lot more room. I mean, and also I had an aisle seat this time, so it's less claustrophobic anyway, because there's no one on this side. Luckily I didn't have to get up to go to the bathroom or anything. But yeah, there was less room there. There was only one person sitting there on the left side of me, and you didn't really like lean over or anything. There's more room between me and the other seat, so I was able to kind of shake my legs so I didn't get a blood clot. And then when it got dark on the flight out here. I was able to turn on the little overhead light, and the overhead light bursts a lot of fucking light on your seat, so I was able to, because I spent the entire flight pretty much just reading a book. Actually, I'll show you. I was reading Kill You Twice by Chelsea Kane, who's a friend of Chuck Palahniuk, my favorite author, and this is like the fifth book in the series, I believe. Yeah, fifth book. So there was that. But yeah, showing a lot of light on there. And then again, like that flight was like 4 hours and 20 minutes, but it didn't go by too slowly. I mean, I had the book to read and everything, so that helped it go by. Yeah, so it wasn't too bad. The flight to crew was rather friendly, whereas that first trip they didn't seem all that friendly. But it happens. Though as I was leaving the plane from debarking, or yeah, debarking, debarking is the right term, right? Or disembarking probably is probably, as I was disembarking from that flight, they said good luck on the long flight after. I'm like, well, they know what my connecting flight is. Maybe they did. Maybe they looked at the manifest and saw I was connecting. I don't know. But yeah, it wasn't too bad. But yeah, that flight to LA was not bad at all. So I only brought just my backpack because I mean I'm only here for like 2 days, so I didn't need to bring a carry-on really. So I just basically the backpack, just the personal items in my carry-on, so that was fine. But when I was at TF Green at the gate to go to Charlotte, I guess someone had left and asked someone to watch their bag, and there was just a stranger. So it was like there was there was sort of a little brouhaha about an unattended package that airport security had to go, and then the TSA or the airport cop was sort of like, "Did you leave this bag?" "Oh, no, I left it with her." "Really? What's her name?" "Yeah, you can't leave your bag like that. You have to take it with you." "All right, so the airport police has confiscated it now," and this whole big thing. It's like, I'm glad the flight wasn't delayed because some douchebag like left his bag with someone else to go to the bathroom instead of fucking taking it himself. Oh yeah, I did use I used the restroom at the Charlotte airport. Quite nice. There's a lot of sinks. It's kind of like a big square, at least the one I was in, which was off of Concord C. But there was basically there's one row of stalls, all like sort of stainless steel stalls. The only problem I have is that the bottom extends down so low that you can't really see if the stall's occupied or not. So I had to wait and see someone actually physically leave a stall before I felt comfortable to go in, because I didn't want to like jimmy a stall and then someone's like, "I'm in here," and then, trying to drop a deuce. Drop a deuce. Anyway, so but then there's a row of sinks pretty much all around, and then there's two urinals, 2 rows of urinals. So they can hold a lot of people in those bathrooms, and they're pretty clean. So, all right. Like when I went to Denver, I also used the bathroom at the Chicago O'Hare Airport, and those weren't as nice. They weren't as big. The Charlotte Airport bathroom's nice. I didn't go in the LAX ones. I didn't need to. But yeah, so that's pretty much all that about the airports. But the guy behind the counter seemed at first sort of kind of jerky, and then he kind of warmed up. He's like, "Oh, yeah, you're gonna be a web redemption, huh?" And then you offered me like a cookie, but I didn't want the cookie. But I came up to the room, and you kind of saw the thing and everything. But that was pretty much my experience. I mean, not much to report back about there. So that's about it. So I'm gonna take a bath, and then I'm gonna hit the hay, because I gotta check out of here before they pick me up. The Tosh people pick me up, and they're picking me up at 11 a.m. Pacific time. And then, I assume they have to drop me off at the airport at least an hour early for a domestic flight, maybe an hour and a half. So this is the LA view outside my hotel room during the day. Bright shiny sun there. I didn't notice there was a little like balcony kind of thing here. I don't think you can go out into it because that's just a suicide risk right there. But yeah, so you got a parking garage. That sun is killing me. You got another hotel over there. Looks like it's mostly just hotels around here. There's the highway over there. I can never drive on one of these highways. There's too many lanes. I guess that's Time Warner Cable, because I see all those cable trucks there. Dina's Fried Chicken. And this little like mini thing. Some more highway over there. Yeah, I could just never drive in the city. Some more buildings. There's this hill over here. You can see it. This is some houses up there. Well, technically this isn't even LA. This is Culver City. But, yeah, that's that view. Ah. Oh. Oh. I'll stop making stupid noises now. Oh, it's weird to see, palm trees outside my window. Kind of like when I was in Colorado, it was weird to see mountains. It's just weird to see palm trees.